Good afternoon. Welcome to the ICTY Weekly Press Briefing. I'm Magdalena Spalinska, as you know, spokesperson to the Registry and Chambers, and I'm joined as well by a representative of the OTP, Aleksandar Kontić. This morning, the trial chamber rendered its judgment in the case of Prlić and others, 6 former high-ranking officials from the wartime Croat entity of Herceg Bosna. All 6 were found guilty of crimes against humanity, violations of the laws or customs of war, and grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions committed between 1992 and 1994. The sentences ranged from 10 to 25 years imprisonment. Tomorrow, the trial chamber will render its judgment in the case of Jovica Stanisic and Franko Simatovic, 2 high-level officials of the Serbian Secret Service, accused of crimes committed against non-Serbs in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia between 1991 and 1995. The judgment will be rendered at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Courtroom 1. The trial in the contempt of tribunal case of Radislav Krstic concluded yesterday after the chamber heard the testimony of one defense expert witness. The judgment in this case will be pronounced in due course. Hearings in the trials of Ratko Mladić, Radovan Karadžić, and Goran Hadžić continue this week and next as scheduled. In the case of Radovan Karadžić, the chamber is currently hearing the testimony of Mile Poparić, an expert in ballistics. He is 138th witness to be called by defense. Proceedings in the trial of Ratko Mladić and Goran Hadžić will resume tomorrow morning in Courtroom 3 and 2 respectively. President Meron will be making an official visit from May 29 to the 1st of June to China. He will be meeting with various Chinese officials, including Vice Foreign Minister Mr. Liu and the Director General of the Treaty and Law Department, Mr. Huang Huikang. President Meron will be discussing issues relevant to both institutions of which he is president, that is the ICTY and also the Mechanism for International Criminal Tribunals. President Meron will also be giving a lecture to the Law Faculty of Beijing University. And finally, tomorrow, the German President Joachim Gauck will be visiting the tribunal as part of a wider visit to the International Criminal Courts in The Hague. President Gauck will meet with the tribunal's Vice President, Judge Carmel Edjus, Prosecutor Serge Brammertz, and also with Registrar John Hawking. He will be introduced to the tribunal's judges, including Judge Christoph Flüge, who will provide him with an update on the ongoing cases. That concludes the briefings from the registry and the chambers. I'll give the floor to Sasha.
No statement from the Office of the Prosecutor.
Questions from the journalists?
The OTP had asked for had recommended a sentence of 40 years for the main accused in the Prlić case, and today we heard that he has been sentenced to 25 years. That raises the question whether you consider to appeal the judgment.
It is too early. It is too early to say whether we will appeal the judgment. As you probably know, the judgment is over 2,600 pages, so it will need some time to fully review it before we could make that decision. But what I can say that the Office of the Prosecutor is satisfied that the trial chamber today has established individual criminal responsibility for all 6 accused for the majority of crimes they were charged with. We find this important, especially for the victims of those crimes.
The press release about the judgment states that the Prlić case has been one of the longest trials in the history of the tribunal. Some journalists wondered if it is not the longest trial. I wonder if somebody at the registry has this information available.
We can make necessary calculations, but definitely this has been one of the longest trials, as you know, considering the number of the accused and also the wideness of the case in terms of number of victims, number of crimes that were committed, the geographical area and so forth. So definitely one of the longest trials and one of the most complex trials As Sasha mentioned, the judgment will have almost 3,000 pages, which pretty much reflects the complexity of that trial as well. If there are no more questions, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Just one technical, when we can expect some additional material like the separate
summary.
opinions and summary?
Oh no,
Not to mention the judgment, but the judgment is, yeah.
the judgment is available now in
French.
French, of course.
Mhm.
The translation, as always, will take a while, as you know, in the tribunal, both into English and in BCS. As for the summary of the judgment, which I know the journalists are also interested, we expect the English translation this afternoon around 4 or 5 o'clock, and BCS translation more or less at the same time.
But there's not going to be separate opinions of the judges aside from the judgment?
Not translated now immediately.
Yeah.
They are part of the judgment,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
No, that's,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
And the judgment will be uploaded to the website
Yes.
soon.
Yes. In French, as it is available at the moment in French, of course.
Very beautiful language.
Very indeed. One of the official languages
Yes.
of this tribunal. Thank you very much.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.